What hobby doesn't require massive amount of time and money but is a lot of fun? Sitting on a park bench and silently judging everyone who walks by. Not a cat. That's just the kind of thing a cat would say. I pace around my living room and rant about the dang government. It's cheap and easy to do and I am always right. My dad does this except on Facebook. If you have a beach near you looking for sea glass is a really relaxing pastime. My parents go on at least 2 walks a week and you can come up with some pretty cool stuff. My dad got into this. He rented a house in Florida for a long time and recently bought one. He's been collecting glass for a long time and has jars for the different colors. He uses them to decorate under the glass on his coffee table and dining table. Lockpicking. Fun and easy to get into, and opens a whole lot of doors. Browsing Wikipedia and letting your mind just wander. Keep asking how does that work, why does this happen and what's that? I used to do this in high school when I was pondering going to art school. A few Wikipedia binges later I wanted to become a neuroscientist. 8 years on I'm working on my second degree in biochemistry and molecular biology. Wikipedia changed my life with this one hobby. I also highly suggest donating to Wikipedia if you have the money. It's an amazing world-changing resource that many of us take for granted. When they started asking for donations I just thought, well, you did get me through high school and college. Crewing on someone else's sailboat. Just go to a marina and ask around. Racers are always looking for crew. Cross-stitching. I got into this hobby because someone mentioned it in a thread like this, but there's good little starter kits for $5 and under to see if you like it. After that you can use the needles from the kits and buy your own fabric and threads. Buy a cool pattern or make your own in an engine. And spend $15 or less on a project that is super fun and looks great. It is kind of time consuming though, but I don't see it as such because I do it while I'm watching a show or have something else going on, so I can keep my hands moving. If you're stressed you can stitch some fricus and it's amazing. Day hiking. Grab your running shoes and a water bottle, and off you go. Fine print warning, day hiking might lead to backpacking, which is not nearly as cheap. I hear you on backpacking. Such a money pit, but I love it. It might sound odd but bird watching. All you need is a pair of binoculars if you want to get serious. It will start off seeing a few birds outside your window and googling what they are. Then eventually you're in the jungle sleeping in a tree with birds. Then you live your life with the birds forever. What hobby doesn't require massive amount of time? Then you live your life with the birds forever. Well. Gardening. Growth takes time, but plant care is not too demanding. Drawing. You don't have to have a professional setup to draw. Just a notebook and a pencil is all you need. It can be taken almost anywhere, and you don't have to be Picasso to do it. I envy all people who can draw. My drawings looks like made by 3-year-old. Origami. As long as you're patient, YouTube can basically allow you to make most anything, from very simple models to very high level models, and all it takes is paper, patience, and time. Depending on your intensity. Hiking. If you're planning on through hiking or even getting deep into ultralight packing, then you can get pretty steep, but a day hike is as cheap as whatever backpack and water bottle you bring with you. Cooking. You've got to eat anyway, right? For a couple of extra quids and maybe 20 extra minutes, within a year you could be eating 5-star meals every day if you liked. Plus, chicks dig food. Cooking is the best. Lose weight, eat healthier, save money, impress everyone, learn new skills, reduce environmental impact. Bouldering. It's childlike, challenging and always fun. You don't even need friends or awkward acquaintances, but those are good as well, and you can hurt yourself outside too. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. It's a big, beautiful old rock. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles, and it's in great shape. Putting googly eyes on random objects around town. Raspberry Pi. $35 for a board, a few bucks for a SD card, and any computer to set it up. Directions are free, there are guide videos on YouTube, and software is free. For me, knitting. You can make it as cheap or as expensive as you'd like. I am on a budget, but can easily find cheap yarn and needles, especially on sale. That's awesome. I used to go to a thrift shop. There were hundreds of balls of yarn for super cheap. Reading, the king of frugal hobbies. Reading can educate you about the world or grip you with an amazing tale. You probably have a library near you that is full of good books available for free. From literature to biographies, poetry to blogs, there is something for everyone. A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies, said Jojen. The man who never reads lives only one. Yes, also, the library is such an underutilized resource. I didn't start going until I was an adult and I really missed out. Photography? Ha, just kidding. I'm broke now. Dancing. Literally start with any style and stick with it. You don't have to enroll in any special classes. YouTube is your best friend. Playing guitar. You don't need a $10,000 guitar to get into it. With a bit of searching you can find some amazing used ones online that are not that expensive. However, there is no continued cost after you have the guitar. I started on a $40 guitar that my dad ordered off of an infomercial, and that was plenty for when I first started. Picks are dirt cheap and there are tons of resources online for anyone to learn. You can do as much or as little as you want. You can just learn a few strumming type songs if you want, or you can learn everything about music theory and the fretboard. There's nothing quite like the feeling of creating music. Disc golf. Discs can be had for $10-20 each. A lot of courses are free to play, and it's good exercise. Easy to learn, but difficult to master. Plus an 18-hole course can be played in about an hour by yourself, so it doesn't require much time either. But the weed makes it pretty expensive after a while. Hammocking. You buy a hammock and some straps for $100.00, depending on what you get, and it takes maybe 5 minutes to set up takedown. Once you have done it a few times, you just chill in it, listen to music, talk to people, read, or my personal favorite, watch the clouds and relax. It's incredibly relaxing, and if I'm ever having a stress-filled week I make it a point to go hammocking ASAP. Hand sewing with felt. Felt is one of the easiest and cheapest materials to work with, and it comes in so many colors. All you need is a needle, some thread, and sheets of felt. Dumpster diving. You go first, then I will decide if I want to try it. I'm late to the party, but coloring, surprisingly enough, can be addicting. I got into it when I was looking for something to do while I listened to audiobooks. I was nosing around Amazon looking for those paint by numbers kits when all these adult, not coloring books popped up. This was around 2011. I bought a couple from Dover, some cheap Crayola super tip markers, some color pencils, and gave it a shot. Whoa, I was shocked as to how much fun it was. I touted it on my FB page but no one paid any attention. And then a couple years later, coloring blew up on the web. Now there are many more companies other than Dover getting into the action. So many more books to choose from. You can spend a little or a lot with this hobby. A lot means buying soft pencils that can run into the hundreds. No way. Or stick with the simple markers. Book can run from $2.99 on sale to upwards of $10 and more. Now they even have coloring parties. Anyway, it can be a fun, interesting pastime. This may get buried beneath the many posts about masturbating as a hobby, but my 2 cents go into the metal detecting jar. You can find a decent metal detector in the $100 range. It is an absolute thrill and blast to find something that was otherwise forgotten, buried beneath the surface. I have found lost toys, keys, coins, and most of all I was able to spend time outside on a nice day and enjoy the breeze, whilst getting my hands in the dirt. It is like being a kid again, but also like being an archaeologist, explorer, treasure hunter and more. I definitely recommend metal detecting. I could picture metal detecting while masturbating. Yo to your heart's content. Boomeranging. They are super cheap and take a while to master, but it's great fun. Pro tip: if you lose sight of the boomerang at any point during its flight, duck and cover until you know it's landed. The time you spend looking for it while it's still in flight is the time it will use to position itself for an attempt to decapitate you. Mead making. You can make a basic brewing setup under $30 if you recycle a 4-liter sangria jug. Buy an airlock and a few other basic supplies. Mead preparation is much simpler than beer because you don't need as much equipment and you don't have to heat anything. Once it's ready to drink, you definitely have a lot of fun. Also, you had 4 liters of sangria at the start, so it's fun the whole time. Geocaching. The basic app is free. Premium is $10 for 3 months, so still cheap. Transportation isn't always required, but I recommend it. Of course, you can drive to a cache or hike or even fly a plane, so the cost and time can vary, but it is great fun and is so exciting to find a cache. Rock collecting. I only have 1 rock, but I just started. While mineral collecting is great, nothing beats gas collecting. I just collected my first Vespine gas. Shoplifting, or getting involved with your church community. I enjoy both. Programming. You will need a computer to start, but they are not that expensive as they used to be. After a long hard day of work as a professional programmer, I like to go home and relax with my favorite hobby, programming. Lifting. You don't even need a gym, just heavy finger to pick up and put down. I started benching with paving slabs on an old railroad tie, and now my gym membership is only 20 squid per month. Redditing. OP said fun. You have been visited by the distinguished doggo of delicious delicacies. Comment tasty supper, pupper, and be blessed with delectable dishes for the next decade. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.